ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य आणीस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासि अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारमवतु भक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। Om. May my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both, speech and mind, be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through the study. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om. Peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Good morning. This morning I am going to talk about a very important aspect of our spiritual life, a little bit complicated also. It is the Sabda or Nada, how that connects us with the infinite. Understanding of this particular subject is also important in our day-to-day spiritual life. In Vedanta, everything depends upon knowledge. There are different schools of philosophy in India. Generally 6 philosophical schools exist in India. One of that is Vedanta. And in all the philosophical schools, one thing is important, and it has been studied again and again in depth. That is knowledge. Everything depends upon knowledge. Our understanding about the external world, our understanding about ourselves, everything, even our emotion. How can we know our emotions, feeling? Vedanta says that everything depends upon our knowledge. Without knowledge, we cannot understand anything. The question is, how can we have this knowledge? Even the highest form of experience, how can we understand our experience? We are sad, we are happy. How can we understand this? Indian philosophy says that through our knowledge. Without knowledge, we cannot understand anything. How can we have this knowledge? And different philosophical schools of India and the Western intellectuals, they differ from each other on this. How can we have this knowledge? I would refer you two systems of India that they said how knowledge dawns in human mind. Vedanta and Sankhya. According to them, how can we have knowledge? The chair is there. So what happens? As it were, our mind goes to that chair. Our mind goes means mind cannot go. We do not know mind. How does mind go there? It is through our senses. I can see that. So we can assume that we are connected with that chair, and immediately that chair attracts our concentration, our mind. So, in other words, we can explain that our mind goes to that chair and takes the form of that chair. We cannot say that this is not a chair, this is a tree, because we have that knowledge, this is a chair. So our mind takes the form of that chair, and our Atman gives the light, as it were. Then only we can understand. We can see, yes, that is a chair. This is the process of knowledge. Our mind goes, it takes the shape of the object, external object, and as it were, it is a tube, and then our light, Atman, the light of Atman goes through that tube and illumine that chair, and we can understand, okay, this is a chair. And this taking the shape, the modification of mind similar to chair is called vritti. So our mind takes the shape of a chair and it is called vritti. So without vritti, we do not have any knowledge. Even the knowledge of Brahman, we do not know what is the form of Brahman. But even though our mind takes the shape of the Brahman, which is called the experience of Brahman, which is called Brahmakara Vritti. So that's also, we have some vritti through which we can understand or we can have our knowledge. This is the theory of knowledge according to Sankhya and Vedanta. Then what is the process of Patanjali? Although Patanjali is based on Sankhya, so just the reverse. According to them, the external object comes to our mind as a throwing stone in a very calm and quiet lake. So if you throw a stone in a calm and quiet lake, what will happen? There will be some ripples, and that is called vritti. So it comes to our mind as a throwing stone and form the vritti, and the light of Atman focuses on that vritti, and we can have the knowledge of the chair. So just the opposite. In one process it is going out, and one process it is coming inside. So this is the knowledge of vritti. So in this way, it is not only the external object. If we utter some word, sound also creates vritti and gives us knowledge. So this morning I am going to speak about the sound, word. What is the science behind that? So I say that, okay, I know the tree, or can you please bring a glass of water for me? I ask somebody, can you please bring a glass of water for me? So, to whom I say this or ask this, he or she can understand, and he or she will bring a glass of water. So, every word, I uttered some word, and this word also creates some vritti for understanding, because without vritti we cannot understand anything. The learning or experiencing or understanding process is only vritti. So it creates some vritti, and then he or she understands us, and he or she will bring a glass of water. So how this sound creates the vritti, and from sound how can we connect with the infinite? Because how this sound acts in our spiritual life, that is the subject matter I am going to explain. Because it is not just to bring a glass of water. It has no spiritual dimension of these words. So, how some words creates our spiritual awareness and takes us to the infinite, because Brahman is the infinite. How it connects us to the infinite, that is the subject matter I am going to deliver this morning. According to Indian philosophy, if I uttered a word, it has two things. One, sound, and another, meaning. And when this sound and meaning we listen, we understand the meaning. From the meaning, we go to the object. That is the process. But the Western theory is not that. The Indian theory is this: from sound or word, it first goes to meaning. As for example, if I ask you, have you seen a tree? You would say yes. So when I utter the word tree, unconsciously you understand the meaning of the tree, and then your mind goes to the picture of the tree. And you can understand, yes, I can. But according to Western philosophy, our mind is the storehouse of different elements. So when we learn the tree, it is stored in our mind, in our grey matter, and when we hear the sound tree, it connects with our store and browse it. That is the Western theory. But Indian theory is this: the mind first understands the meaning. So every word has meaning and sound. And when there is a sound and meaning, there is a form. So, sound means the form. Without form, we cannot understand anything. So, tree is a form. So, when we uttered any word, it has a meaning and it has a form. Every word has a meaning and form. And how can we understand that? So it goes in this way. First, it is connected to our consciousness, because according to Indian philosophy, everything comes from consciousness. So first it hits through our ears to the consciousness. And in that consciousness, the first stage, it is connected and become one with the sound or form and the meaning. It is completely one thing. This is the first stage. Then it comes little bit lower stage, and it separates the form and the sound. It separates, but it is not totally separated. It separates like a peas, like a peas, two hubs. It is not completely separated, but like a peas, it becomes two hubs. And that stage is called, the first stage in Sanskrit, it is called para, and the second stage is called pashyanti. The first stage in the consciousness level, the second stage, when these are two little bit separated, it comes in the mind state. So behind the mind is the consciousness, the buddhi. According to Indian philosophy, human personality is a kind of staircase. In the lower base, there are three things. Our first is our basic urge, then our energy cycle, then our mind aesthetic cycle, and then our intelligence. So this is the different height and different levels, and each level is connected with each seeds. In Indian philosophy, it is very common, probably you are familiar with the 5 seeds. The food and basic seeds, it is called Annamaya Kosha. Then there is Pranamaya, Pranam is energy level. And then there is mind level, and then there is intellectual level. This is one. Another, you are familiar with chakras, In Tantra, there are different chakras. The Muladhara, Shadhisthana, Manipura. So in this way, these are different levels. And why these different levels they try to figure out? They try to figure out different level because each level has some function, and our mind is connected with each level. As for example, if our mind is connected with food and basic urges, which is the most lower level, then those people, they only like fun, eating, drinking, and fun making. So there are other different aspects of human life are completely blocked. They do not like to compose poem. They do not like to paint picture. They do not like any aesthetic. They do not have any aesthetic sense. They do not work also. They only like eating, drinking, and fun making. Then there are people, those whose mind is connected with the energy level. They like only work. They are workaholic. They don't care about food. They don't care about their dresses. They don't care about anything. They are workaholic. They like working. Then there are aesthetic people. They like painting. They don't care about eating, drinking, fun making. They compose poem. They are artists. They play guitar. So they are completely oblivious about all other things, but they like the aesthetic sense. Then there are intellectual people, the researcher. Their world is in the laboratory. They don't care about what is going on in the rest of the world. So this type, whose mind, whose consciousness is connected with particular level, their behavior, their attitude, their outlook changes in that way. So it is because of this, the level. So what happened when this word sound separated into form and meaning, or form, word and meaning, or form and meaning, it separated in the mind level, not in the higher level, not in the intellectual level. It separated in the mind level. And then, unless it is connected with the energy level, we cannot recognize these things. The point is that there are thousands of words are playing in our unconscious or in the higher super level conscious. We cannot recognize or understand those things unless it is connected with the energy level. We cannot understand this. So it connects to the energy level, and then energy is connected with this word, meaning and form, and it is a kind of whirlpool, and then we can understand, okay, sound, this one. Most of the people, we have our mind in these three lower level, in the basic level, in the energy level, and at the most it is in the mind level. We do not have the higher level. If we analyze ourselves, we can easily understand that our level is either eating, drinking, merrymaking, or workaholic, or at the most aesthetic, not higher than that. So the point is, even you can find the researcher also sometimes, although for their duty or for their allotment of work, for their profession, they are working in the laboratory, but their mind is away from laboratory. They want only eating, drinking, and merrymaking. So this is the way. When it comes to the level of energy, we can understand that. Yes, the word and meaning. This is the way we can understand the word. Then, in a spiritual life, the process is just reverse. What we do in spiritual life, we utter some word. In Tantra, it is called mantra. In Vedanta, there is no mantra. In Tantra, there is mantra. So, the spiritual aspirants, they utter the mantra. That's just the reversal process. So, when they utter the mantra in the energy level, so this mantra, some word and some meaning. Meaning means these mantras are sometimes connected with some deities. There is a code. Every human being has a unique code, and that code is written in the chromosome. Each human being has a code, and that code is written in the chromosome. According to chromosome, that human being grows and develops, and that. So each deities, the code of each deities is some word. According to that word, the characteristics of that deity forms. As in the chromosome, according to your chromosome code, a human being is formed, developed, personality grows, mentality, everything. So, this code is called Vija. In Sanskrit, it is called Vija. So, when a person utters this word, it becomes a sound, So, sound has meaning and this sound word. So, when a person uttered in the pranic level, energy is required. So, when energy level, this is completely two, separated. One is the word a person is uttering, and it has a meaning. What is the meaning? Meaning is connected with this code, and this code is connected with some personality, some deity. So this code is connected with some deity. So these are completely separate. Mechanically, the aspirant, they utter this mantra and there is no connection. This. And that is actually called in Sanskrit language, according to those people who developed this science, it is Bhartrihari, one of the grammarian. He developed this science. And the name of the science is called Sphoto. S-P-H-O-T-O, Sphoto. So, this theory, this Bhartrihari, grammarian, he developed. So, when two completely are separated in the pranic level or in the basic level, there are word and meaning. So, most of us, when we utter the mantra, to us, mantra is nothing but a sound, and it has a meaning. We do not bother about meaning also. Most of the people, they do not bother about meaning also. But it has a meaning. And that meaning is the code of a particular deity. Now what happened? When this meditation and uttering of this mantra is deepened in the mind level, the reverse process, it will become connected. The word and the mantra, meaning is connected. Not fully connected, it is just like a piece. The separation is there, but it connects together. And in the higher level, when it is depends more and more, it goes to the intellectual level. And in intellectual level, it completely connected and it goes higher to the conscious level. So, if I call it in the technical term of Sanskrit, so the Vaikhari, the separated thing, goes to the Pashyanti level, which is two halves, and then it will be connected in the Para level. So in this way, it is connected with the intellectual level. Now the question is, what is this intellectual level? This intellectual level is not our simple intellectual level. According to Indian philosophy, there are three intellectual levels. One is called the lower level, which is called Smriti, the first ordinary level. Actually, four. Ordinary level Smriti, remembrance. You have a very good memory. That is one. That is very lower level. The next level is called Dhriti. And you can find in Bhagavad Gita the explanation of these three types of intellect. You can find in Upanishad the three kind of intellect. So the Dhriti is higher understanding. You can understand in depth. Those are scholar, those who are highly scholar people, they have developed their Dhriti. So Dhriti is that in Bhagavad Gita it is said that Dhriti is that they can conceptualize many abstract things. That is called Dhriti. Second step is the Medha. You take the example of Einstein. You can take the example of Newton. They have outstanding memory. Memory means the intellect. Outstanding intellect. You can say Swami Vivekananda. Just they go through the books. There are many instances in the life of Swami Vivekananda. So only just encyclopedia, just went through and could remember everything. So they can grasp by only sweeping their eyes, scanning their eyes. They can understand what is that. So that is called Medha. They can easily understand the essence. So they are connected with the writer's mind. By reading two words, they can connect with the writer's mind, writer's intellect, and they could easily grasp what is the content of this writing. As for example, the kids' movie, you can see the first scene, you can easily understand what will be the last scene. Or any detective books, you can understand that who will be the culprit. So like that, the Medha, it is way higher than this. So this is called Medha. And higher to Medha is called Dhi. Dhi is the super quality intellect which is connected with consciousness. That is why in Gayatri Mantra, you can find the second line of Gayatri Mantra, it is said, Dhiyo yonav prachodayata. So it means that Dhi, the intellect Dhi, Na means us. This intellect, higher intellect Dhi, prachodayat means initiates. May this Dhi initiates us to attain that higher Savita. Savitur Baranyam, Savita means the sun. It is a prayer to the sun. So, that is why this kind of Dhi is required. So, at the Dhi level, it becomes one. But if we utter the word, I see my friend, I see my friend, or I see a car. If I say I see a car, and I repeat as a mantra, I see a car, do you think, because it is a word, do you think I see a car, I see a car, I see a car? If I utter these things, it will take us to the consciousness? No. Why? Because here is no address. The code means address. So where it will go? It will not take us to any higher level, because it has no address. Only when that bija is connected, that code is connected with that, it will take us to a particular deity. That is the address. Code means address. So that will take us to the particular deity. So when it has been repeated again and again, then that will take us to a particular deity. Now, another point is that in this philosophical school, this meaning, general, what is the difference between this, the bija, the code, and the ordinary word? The ordinary word has a power, each word has a power, to reveal the meaning. If I say tree, tree has a power because it reveals in your mind the meaning. That is why you can understand that. So this philosophical school, they believe that each word has its power. And the power is this: it reveals in others' mind the meaning. So this particular tree word is called Bachya Shakti. The Shakti, this power is called Bachya Shakti. But the code, that Vija, has a higher type of power that goes to the consciousness. So it is called Bachaka Shakti. So these two Shaktis, these two power are different. That is why the code, it takes us to the higher level towards the consciousness. Now here is the last point. The last point is this: if we utter the mantra or utter this code, it will take us to the higher consciousness? No. Why not? Because there are two stages. And in this particular philosophy, they called Vindu. Vindu means the human consciousness. One is simple Bindu, that is lower human consciousness, and the higher is called Paravindu. Paravindu means the higher consciousness. In every spiritual life, first some awakening is necessary. And in Bhagavad Gita also, you can find, in Ramayana also, you can find the hint of this awakening. As for example, when in Ramayana, when Valmiki wanted to compose the Ramayana, and Valmiki, the Ratnakar, became Valmiki. You know the story. So when Ratnakar became Valmiki, so he could not. He got the blessing from God, and then only he could visualize the divine play of Ramachandra. And then he composed the Ramayana. Similarly, you can see Arjuna in the 11th chapter. Arjuna requested Sri Krishna, "Can you reveal your divine form in front of me?" Arjuna thought like us, that only human eyes can see the divine form. But Sri Krishna says, no, you cannot see in these divine eyes to my divine form. Wait, I shall bless you and I shall give you the divine eyes, and through the divine eyes you can see my divine form. So what is this? What is the meaning of this giving divine eye or blessings of God to Valmiki? This is the awakening. In spiritual life, from ordinary human being, an awakening is required. Awakening of Pratyagatman. What is Pratyagatman? Pratyag means inner Atman. The human Jivatman. In other words, it is called Jivatman. So according to Vedanta, there are two stages. One is awakening of human consciousness. What is the awakening of human consciousness? I have already mentioned that there are different stages. When our consciousness will be connected with the higher kind of intellect, that is the awakening. When it is connected with basic stage, the fun, eating, drinking, when it is connected with the energy level, it is the workaholic, then aesthetic level, then simple intellect level, and then higher intellect level. That is the awakening. So first awakening is required. Then only, awakening also at different stages. You have come to attend this lecture. You are interested to know about the spiritual life. Why? This is a little change from the flow of ordinary mind. Don't you think that? So it is a little change. You are trying to understand this. So what is the ordinary mind? Ordinary mind, Sunday, okay, Saturday party, Sunday party. So this is the ordinary mind. Eating, drinking, merrymaking, go, yeah, fun, all these things. But a little change, little awakening. Yes, we try to shape our life spiritually. We try to solve our problem spiritually. So this is a kind of difference. Then, no, we have resolved that we can shape our life or we can live our life spiritually, because we have understood that this is the only life. The other life, the worldly life, that will not give us permanent happiness. It is just like a chocolate. You take the chocolate, you will be happy. Next moment, when you finish your chocolate, you cannot get it. So it is just like ups and downs. Pleasure, pain. Pleasure, pain. You cannot get. And ultimately, when you are at the brink of your life or at the border of your life, you can find, if you take the stock accounts, you can find suffering is more, enjoyment is very less. So that's why Buddha said, life is suffering. So that is why this is a kind of awakening, small, little awakening. And when the real awakening comes, it connects with the higher buddhi level, dhi, and that is the lower bindu. The higher bindu is connected with the Brahman. So there are two levels. We first awakening, and that is the realization of ourself, and it is not the end. Then we can understand everyone is that Brahman. So three things. A realized person, they realize that yes, I am Atman, I am connected with that Brahman. And third is everyone is Brahman. We do not have any difference between each other. In reality, we are one. So the external thing is a capsule, is the covered thing. But inside consciousness, we are one. So that is, they could understand this 3 level. So the higher awakening, so lower awakening is the awakening of Pratyagatman, Atman, and the higher awakening is the connection with the Brahman. So the word, it takes us, the mantra, not only this is one of the ways. So if you concentrate yourself and meditation, so if you meditate your concentration, your purity, what is the purity? Purity doesn't mean you will take 1,000 times shower and all other things. The purity is the desirelessness. According to Patanjali, 3 things: raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. These are the mala, they called the impurities. Raga means attachment. Attachment and non-attachment. I like him, I don't like him. Both are the cause of our impurities. Second is jealousy, hatred, anger. And third is fear. These are the 3 things. And in other words, if you combine this, in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Satta, Tama and Rajas. These are familiar words. Satta, Tama, Rajas. Or in other scripture it is said the 6 things. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Moha, Matsarya. So all things are mainly same. These are the impurities. So if we can remove our impurities, then only it will take us to this. So it is very important to remove our impurities at the same time performing our spiritual practice. So both we cannot continue. You cannot walk with stepping in 2 things. So parallelly we have to do that. Otherwise it will be like, you are anchored and you are still rowing your boat. So it cannot proceed. So that is the point. So in this way, this is the importance of sound and meaning and mantra. Do you have any question? Yes, please.
Swami, thank you for the teaching. I was listening and carefully trying to understand how do us can aspire to higher levels of intellect. It seems like a little bit difficult. Or what steps should we take to go higher and higher?
Right.
Because we are mostly on the lower levels.
That is the first of most important thing. Our mind is very funny. Okay? You have a car and you love your car. Okay? Wonderful. Now, and you are very attached with your car. Now, if you buy another very good car, the latest model, okay, then the previous car, you just, ignore your previous car. Oh, whatever, let it go. So our mind is that when we get some higher thing, we simply leave the lower thing. Okay? You do not have to struggle to ignore the lower thing. Only try to embrace the higher thing. Automatically the lower thing will go. Okay? So, to embrace the higher thing or to select the higher thing, one thing is very important. You must resolve this spiritual higher thing is important. This happiness is higher than the lower happiness. This resolution one has to do. Nobody can do for others. So you must have. And how you can do that? Through logic, through justification. And then slowly and obviously, along with this purification of mind, along with that practice, it will come. It is very simple. It has no any kind of, fishy or hidden thing or some kind of abstract thing. It is simple logic. And practice. If you go, I would say that if you want to get 7-pack or 6-pack in your belly, you have to attend your gym. Otherwise, it will become like me. Yes, please.
The word and meaning you said a number of times. Is that Namrup?
Yes.
And the other thing,
It is called Namrupa, or in another word, it is called Nada and Kala.
and the chromosomal code is probably we wanted to make genetic code.
Yes.
So we have 23 pairs.
Right, genetic code.
20,000.
RNA and DNA, yes. Yes, please.
So you said that the mantra has a meaning and it takes us to the deed. So does that mantra have a form also?
Definitely. That is why the spiritual seeker, they see the form of the deity. In the mind state, they see the form of the deity.
Just correctly question. Now when you explain that when you say tree, so the tree image flashes in the mind. The tree is something that you have seen and you have.
This is Western concept. That mother told you it is a tree, you know the word, and then mother says, see, this is a tree. So it is stored in your mind. And when you hear the tree, you are trying to match these things in your store and you can browse that. This is the Western concept. But Indian's concept, this photos concept is that it will not come from anywhere else. This photo is all pervading. Okay? The meaning and all these are all pervading. So, even if it is like a satellite, if you upload your email, so from anywhere in this world you can browse your email. Even if you don't know. Okay? So the point is, photo is a kind of satellite, cloud. Okay? So the meaning and word is in the cloud. If you can connect that, you can browse that. This is the Indian, this photo theory.
So that would mean the moment you understand the meaning.
It is not required to store in your brain different meaning and different all these things. It is in the cloud. Only you have to connect that. Yes, please.
So, if I understand you, there is a kind of universe of thought.
Yes.
Mind
Yes.
that we tap into.
So it is important, that point actually I should mention, that means, because if I have some meaning of the word, you have some meaning of the word, he has some meaning of the word, then there is a confusion. So it shows we understand everybody, whatever may be the language, we can understand the meaning. So that means meaning is universal. So meaning is universal. And how it will become the universal? In this way, a cloud concept. So it is in the cloud, and this cloud is called Sabda Brahma, or this photo. So even in different language, if you understand, you can understand the meaning. That is why if the language is different, people can communicate. Yes, please.
Well, if this is true, in a mantra situation, the words are in Sanskrit.
Yes, yes. This is, you cannot change the language because you cannot change the DNA code. The code is written in the specific language. You cannot change the computer language. Yes.
That's just are there other languages also?
No, I told you how you can write your computer algorithm in different language. It has a specific language, and that is Sanskrit.
So I think that the mantra.
As for example, you are writing your algorithm in English, okay? Can you write it in Hindi? Can you write it in Spanish? You cannot. Computer cannot understand that. So, this is specific. You cannot change the language because it is a code, you know, DNA code. It is very, very specific, unique. Yes, please.
So, I couldn't understand the exact question that was asked, but is it right to understand this way that the mantra is in Sanskrit, but someone may not understand Sanskrit?
No, it is the utterance. It is not depends upon the understanding. I told you the meaning is universal.
Right.
So you can understand whatever language it may be. So meaning is universal, and if you utter the Sanskrit mantra, even if you cannot understand that, you can understand the meaning. It is an address, you know, you can go to the right destination. Because meaning is in the cloud. And you are trying to connect yourself with the cloud. And when you are connected in the right address, automatically you will be connected. And you cannot change your email ID, you know, in any way. Password. You have to write in that language. You cannot change your email password. Means you can change it, but once you change, you have to write that one. Otherwise, it will not be connected.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes.
And how does one get the right mantra for their?
Pardon?
How does an individual get the right mantra?
Okay. Oh, that's also a very interesting. You know, Jesus also said, you know, ask and you will get the answer. Knock and the door will be open unto you. Okay? So when you seek it, it will come. Don't worry about that. So the Swami Vivekananda said the religion and spirituality is the manifestation of divinity which is already in man. So each of us have that divinity. But we cannot realize that, we cannot manifest that. How to realize, how to manifest? Remove the impurities. It is already there. Remove impurities and it will come out automatically. You need not do anything. Because now our consciousness is covered by all kind of temptation, all kind of desire, all kind of impurities, clouds. remove it. And we do not need to do anything else. It will come out automatically because it is already there. Yes, please.
Maharaj, for every mantra we start with Om. Is there Om is connection between?
Yes, it is said like that. Yes, definitely. It is the first sound. It is the first manifestation of the from the Om is a kind of latent heat, There is a latent heat. 60 calorie is the latent heat. When the ice or boil your water, generally 0 degree is the cooling point, the water becomes ice at 0 degree. But if you measure it very carefully, it is not exact 0 degree. You can find 0 degree water also. So another 60 kilocalorie heat has to be reduced to become it solidified. So this buffer, the Om is just kind of that, It is coming from transcendental to immanent. So Om is the connecting point, it is said. Om is there in the transcendental, Om is the immanent. So Om is the first word from which everything emanates. That is what they say. Okay. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkham apnuvat, sarvastarotu durgani, sarvo bhadrani pashyatu, sarva sadbuddhim apnotu, sarva sarvatra nandatu, durjana sajjano bhuyat, sajjana shantim apnuvat, shantamucchete bandhebhyo, muktaschanyan vimochayet. May all be happy. May all enjoy good health. May all see happy events. May all be freed from miseries. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bondages. May the freed make others free. May the Supreme Spirit, the presiding deity of all sacred activities, be satisfied. For He being pleased, the whole universe feels satisfied. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all.